It's okay. Okay. I'm just going to call the meeting to order, and this is a virtual online meeting. And I'd like to note that those in attendance are myself, Adam Burrows, Chris Wilson, Ella Christine Malik, Joanne Weir, Judith Alec, Melinda Bryan, and Diana Ingraham. We're going to review the minutes of the March 11th, 1920 meeting. Are there any? I'm just going to say that we've accepted the minutes as submitted. Okay.
We have motion.
We can make a motion to record it. Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Okay, Joanne, and second?
I second that.
Ella, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Motion passes. I sent you the budget, and there's several pages of the budget, but right now I'd like to enter in the minutes that we have a balance of $33,270.53. And of that, $29,116.40 comes from the collection. Those are the payments that students make to join programs. That balance is up a little bit, obviously, because of the COVID-19. We've had to significantly cut back in programs. And just to let you know that we did receive this $33,000 includes the $1,000 grant we just received from CRAC. Judith, would you like to mention what that grant is about?
Now you're talking about the $1,000 that we were awarded because of the survey. I must say I was very pleased that we were able to do that because, as you all know, CRAC has essentially doubled its size. So we were competing against over 40 towns this weekend. And I was a little dubious about whether we would be able to pull it off, but we did. And I thank everybody very much as always, we had wonderful participation from the churches and all the organizations, and it really, it just makes a difference. And we were able to get the $1,000.
And Judith, we have to expend that by what date?
I don't believe there's a date attached to that. There's a date. Melinda, have you heard anything about the application for next year at this point?
No.
I mean, no, that grant money, in fact, I'm not sure. I don't think it even has, I mean, it's not that we can spend it for anything, but it doesn't have the restrictions. That's something that we've been holding over. And, you know, in fact, for example, I did use some of the holdover money for the our drug and alcohol smart recovery program. But there is no date, Adam.
Okay.
Did you receive the email? Did you receive the email I sent to the three of you yesterday, though? I did get a letter from CRAC asking me if we were going to be able to expend some kind of funds, and I don't really have the knowledge.
Well, in the CRAC grant, Joanne, we have $11.98 left. And I will tell you this, that Melinda will work with spending down all grants, and we'll get those balances to zero. And as you get down to the final wire, you can, spend, money, $11.98 on supplies or other materials. There's some things. So all of the grants that we have to spend, Melinda will be able to expend those before the June 30th deadline. Correct, Melinda?
Actually, I was going to do the $11.98 out of my salary. I talked to Darlena about that earlier. And after everything, I have about $1,300 to spend via the YSB and enhancement total.
Okay.
Okay,
That's it.
so, and we will spend down those funds to meet the deadline.
But
Absolutely.
had you received that letter also that I forwarded you?
What was that,
Before we
Joanne?
go any further, I would like to thank Judith for her persistence in helping the YSB to get that $1,000.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Judith.
Okay, Judith, yes. Thank you. It's just amazing what has happened. So we did it again. We're number one. But Melinda, you were saying that we should be able to expend all of the grant funds so that we've not left any money on the table.
Yes.
The big carryover fund is what we've collected.
Yeah, it would either be salaries or materials.
But had you seen that letter that I forwarded to you folks
And-
yesterday?
And
Had you seen it?
what did you say in the letter? Update everybody.
No, I was
Oh,
at
yes,
school.
you received because your name was on the list, you received that.
Exactly.
And we put it in the appropriate, it's already been deposited and we're all set, okay? And any
think she
grants that we received will be expended, Joanne.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we did the budget report, projected grants, funding sources, and development of next year's 2021 budget. We will be able to work on that. Melinda has some ideas that are developing, and at the July meeting, you'll get a spreadsheet with the continuation of programs. And we'll be looking at some of our priorities. Melinda, did you have any? Well, we should go over your director's report. That would probably give us some ideas about the expenditure of funds.
Okay.
Okay, motion to accept the budget report as presented with a balance of the $33,270.63.
So move.
Joanne, second.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. Okay, well, we're right in the middle. The next agenda item is the COVID-19, and I want to thank Melinda for making all sorts of adjustments, and the teachers who have helped us with distance learning activities. Ella, you just participated, didn't you, in a distance learning activity were you in one of the programs for the YSB?
I didn't do the last one. I would have done the one tonight, but I'm here.
Okay. But thank you, Melinda. This, the COVID-19 things and the adjustments you make, maybe we could just include that in your director's report. So why don't you give us an update?
Okay. So we had a credit with New England Science and Sailing for that $1,450. So we actually worked with them, actually the owner, the CEO, Spike, and 3 other people, Allison Page and I. And also we talked with Jim Ward, and we ended up coming up with a Google Meets program. Jim felt, safer with that than Zoom. He wasn't really thrilled about that for security reasons. So Allison Page has been monitoring programs that we've been providing. The first was a free pilot program, marine debris. It was offered to grades 7 and 8. We had 13 students on with that. They had a good time because I'm actually watching as well. And then, so going forward, the cost of the programs are $375 a program with up to 25 students. So now we have a credit of 1,000. So after that last class, we have a credit of 1,075. On May 6th, we offered Whether or Not the Earth Changes, and it was offered to grades 4, 5, and 6. We had a total of 25 students. And this is all going with like what the grade levels go, but what they cover, like Lauren covered the curriculum. It's going with basically the curriculum. That's what we're trying to match it out with. And then we're doing right now as we speak is Plankton Olympics, and that's for 7th and 8th grade. We have 14 students doing that right now. And it's hands-on. The Nest, they've been great, really good. You know, they take a break, they, you know, have a snack. It's hands-on. It's all household items. They're not allowed to go out to get specific things. So moving forward, there's several other programs that I would like to offer the kids. And Allison and I have been working directly together with Ness, and just till we spend down to our credit and then go from there by see how much interest we have. But they've been having a really good time and they're doing a great job. So if I have permission to keep going, as long as interest persists, I'd like to do that.
Absolutely.
I know my second grade friends are interested in the camo.
The camouflage?
If you're going to go ahead and do that, I mean, we can put it out and get a response. I mentioned it to my students, you know, but.
Okay. And what I have
I sent
done,
an email to parents.
all right, I think the next week, we're going to try to do 4, 5, and 6, possibly fishing. We're kind of working with Ness and seeing what they suggest. And then the next one after that, Joanne, we'll try to promote to 2nd and 3rd grade.
Okay.
We're not currently going under 2nd grade at this point because we need parent assistance getting the kids on the computer. But the camouflage one is supposed to be fun, that they get a stuffed animal and hide it. And it's all pretty much, you know, you're really hands-on type of thing. So I'd like to do that. So I think that's all I have on that one.
Well, they're interested because the draw is they want to see their friends.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So do we need to vote on me? Keep going with
No, just a couple of questions. First one, Melinda, do our students have enough access to Chromebooks and other technology for YSB programs, or have you had to go out and find some or ask Jim?
I haven't had any issues, and the teachers have been pushing this. And if they had an issue, I'm assuming they would tell me. And I have modified the registration form process because some people don't have printers, and so I have a registration form, and I also have, like, the school has the Google Meets expectations. I modified it for YSB so they know how they have to be presented in the Google Meet. And for the people sending in registration forms, if they want, they can just take a picture of the form and text it to the YSB phone. They can email me. If they can't print out the form, they can just email me everything that's supposed to be on the form with permission allowing their child. So I'm really working with the parents with what they have to make, you know, it easy for everybody, because I know it's not. But so far we haven't had any issues with lack of computers.
I think it's been taken care of.
We've had to purchase some extra computers, Chromebooks for the COVID-19 and for distance learning. One of the things that we're doing is we have put things on a FEMA list for possible reimbursement of up to 75%. So expenditures that we make based on COVID needs, we're trying to seek reimbursement. Right now, we're up to $89,000 worth of identified expenditures for the COVID-19. I'm not sure which eligible expenditures are there, but it's something that we're going to be watching over the next few months, because we've had some financial impact as well as some financial savings. Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the director's report as presented.
Oh, I'm not done. I still got more.
Oh, okay.
That was just the next part.
So a motion to approve the programs as presented and authorize you to implement updates, and work on that, because we're not going to meet for another month.
So moved.
Are you making that motion, Ed?
No, Chris just so moved it. Second is Joanne. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Yes.
Okay, and then yesterday, we wanted to honor our Voluntown High School seniors, since the 8th graders got honored, and they're graduating and they deserve something. So Amy, Allison, Megan, and I went on the bus driven by Terry Chanette. I purchased 35 lawn signs from Copycats in New London, and 33 grad balloons from the dollar store. And the total cost of the signs and balloons came to almost $400. So I'd like to get approval for that. But going on the bus, and I was a para in this class for like 2 or 3, at least, I think almost 3 years. So it was actually nice to be able to see these kids. And I said to my daughter, I told her what we do. She's like, oh, the high schoolers not going to want to see you Voluntown people. Well, guess what? She was wrong, because a lot of the parents came out with their high schooler and waited for us there. And it was just such a rewarding and nice experience to see them come out with their high schooler. And it was some of my my high school basketball guys that didn't even get to finish their, they got 2 games, and that's all they got. But they had a good time. I mean, they came out. I don't know if you heard Adam, but Darlena filmed hers. I was apparently from the 8th grade thing, putting the signs in the ground was difficult. So guess who got that job? I got that job. And Darlena, got to Darlena's house, tried putting the sign in, and it's very hard ground, and then falling into a ditch. So, of course, that was filmed and Facebooked. So we got everybody seeing Melinda falling into a ditch. But it was a comical ride home on the bus. Everybody laughed. And if that's what makes people laugh, it's all good.
But you're okay.
Oh, yeah. I said when I got on the bus, I'm like, Amy, that's workman's comp. We just laughed.
Is that in the job description for the director of YSB, falling into ditches?
No, but for my Ameriprise job, my boss was totally decked out in his suit, dropped a projector holder down a sewer in New London.
Oh,
and
no.
I did the sewer dive for him.
Oh, my.
So that wasn't in my job description either.
Okay. We need a motion to approve the cost and distribution of signs to our graduates. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay, Diana, so moved.
Second.
Joanne, second. Any discussion?
Well, I just would like to say I thought it was wonderful because everybody gets to see the signs out in front of the houses. And so you really just want to toot your horn just to say, hi, congratulations. It was great. And I was thrilled when I saw that you were doing that. And I think it was a wonderful idea. And kudos.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see this picture, but we're in the bus with our masks on.
Yes, I saw those pictures.
I did see some things on Facebook too. So
Yeah.
it was great. Really, those seniors, I think we underestimate what a sad thing this is for our adolescents. So anything that we can do to make them feel recognized and appreciated is very, very important. And I was thrilled that.
And honestly, I think this was really good for the parents because I think the parents are craving something as well. You know, they want recognition for their senior.
Sure.
Yep, and they deserve it. The parents deserve it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing, 8th grade YSB award. I don't have a student in mind for this award this year because the year was cut short. I talked to Jackie Valancourt. She suggested having the students apply for the award, possibly talking about how they have helped VES foster a positive environment or something like, since the award isn't hardworking for studies, but more community services and promoting involvement. I don't know what you guys want to do for that.
What about asking the students to nominate each other rather than applying for the award personally?
On like what basis though?
Well, what the criteria that you just mentioned, which student that the students that, if you had to think about somebody, is there anybody that you'd like to nominate for this award? It's just a thought, but I think a lot of young people and older people are a little hesitant to nominate themselves for something.
It's up to you guys.
Melinda, is it possible that you could meet or communicate with Amy and Jackie Valancourt and see
Yeah.
and take their suggestion? And I think their recommendation would be something that we could follow through, and it takes the onus off other people. Plus, they're reviewing all of the end of the year awards.
Yeah,
And,
I like Jackie's idea of applying for it this year, just because I can't really say a lot of people help me because I haven't been there. No one's there, you know?
Okay,
So I can't really,
so that means that if Jackie suggested that, would she help you with selecting somebody? You know,
no, she could help. Her and Amy could select the person.
okay, why don't you work it out with them? That's the best way, and I think that would take the onus of Judith was saying off self-nominations and other people. And Amy and the 8th grade teachers know the students best.
Yep, no, that's fine.
Okay, if that's okay with everybody else.
That's fine.
I'm getting nods. Okay, there's a consensus. Okay.
Is it okay if I go now so I can go to my Zoom birthday party?
Yes, and the only thing that we have, I just wanted to mention, as secretary, I will complete Melinda's annual evaluation. We've seen some of that, but I think that it would be good to give her a summary report for her accomplishments this year. And at the next meeting, I'll just do a summary report for the board consider for their self-evaluation so we can go over accomplishments and priorities for the following year. Okay? Melinda, thank you so much.
Sure. Bye.
Bye, Melinda.
We might have Allison joining us in about a minute. Next item on the agenda is just the legislative report. And I can tell you that, you know, the grants and other things are just being processed. I don't think that there's going to be huge legislative changes with things coming up, except, you know, with some of the things with schedules, and the governor's been doing executive orders. So I haven't seen a lot of new legislation. Next item is Smart Recovery Program. Any updates with that?
Well, needless to say that we're totally on hiatus at this point. The school closed, and let alone the fact that you're not allowed to have groups. We shut it down.
Okay.
And I will say, however, that before it was shut down, it was going very, very well.
Oh, good. Yes.
I was feeling very positive about it because we were having a good sized group, and anyway, I will just say that I was really finally feeling that all the hard work and effort and so on, that I was really having an impact. So that's the good news.
Can you not use this kind of format to continue at some point?
I'm not doing that, Joanne, because the reason it was going so well is because there was a group of people coming in who were actually from all over New England. And so the group sort of rotated. Because of all the restrictions, it's sort of a confidential issue of talking about who was there and where they were coming from and so on and so forth.
Yep.
But it was a large group and they were very excited about SMART, first of all. Many of them had not heard of it before. And secondly, they were going to be going back home, which means a lot of different places in New England. And so I was able to give them information about the SMART meetings where in New Hampshire, in Maine, in Massachusetts, and whatever. So although they weren't local people, I mean, we had a few local people, but it was definitely doing a huge service as far as the almost, all men that were coming to these meetings. And so that's what was good. But that, of course, did not lend itself. If we had had a cohort of people in the area all coming to the meeting weekly,
Hmm.
and that would have been a model that although I must say that there was a part of me that was relieved that I did not feel obligated to do that, because planning for the meetings and so on is really quite an extensive operation. But anyway, that's why I totally chose not to. And there are SMART has online meetings 24/7
Okay.
from the national. So it's not as if there aren't online meetings that anybody can attend at any time.
So
Okay, I was
Judith,
just worried about it
people,
dropping. Sorry.
they were
Yes.
traveling specifically down to Voluntown to come to the meeting from all over New England, or were they here for work or other reasons?
They were here for other reasons, and they would come to the SMART meeting.
It's pretty neat.
It was really,
Yeah.
it was really great because they were so excited and so appreciative that it was wonderful. And I hope there's no reason it won't start up again. Once we're able to. In fact, I had reserved the library for the summer. I mean, we had no idea that this was going to happen. But it definitely will resume whenever we're allowed to resume. And I'm still working on trying to get more people trained to be facilitators. That's my next goal.
Okay.
I did, Adam, by the way, I did do a talk from Matt's Mission last week, actually, a Zoom meeting.
Okay.
About smart recovery, and again trying to do more publicity.
Sounds great. Okay, Judith, thank you, and Chris, thank you for that report. Diana, you're still with us, right?
Yep.
And Allison Page has joined the meeting.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Allison.
So did we approve the meeting dates for next year? No.
I don't believe we did.
Okay, well, on the agenda at the bottom, I've listed the meeting dates for the second Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. I'd just like to have a motion to approve the meeting dates for 2021.
Are we moving to Thursdays?
I mean, Tuesday, excuse me. I'm moving into Board of Ed mode a little bit. No, Tuesday.
Wednesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday, excuse me, Wednesday. Today, Wednesday?
You can't have us every day,
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah, okay. So the 2020-21 schedule, Tuesdays, 5 p.m. on the
Wednesday.
second Tuesday of every month.
Wednesday.
Wednesday of every month.
Or
Okay,
Wednesday.
got it. Is there a motion to approve that?
So move.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, Joanne. Any other business?
Yes,
The only thing
Diana had something.
oh, sorry.
just before we end the meeting, I would like to let everyone know that your birthday is today or somewhere in this vicinity. So happy birthday to you.
Yes,
Adam.
they did a little birthday thing a little bit earlier, Diana. So
Okay.
thank you so much. I've been receiving many birthday greetings. Okay, any other things that we need to bring up? Allison, you've been busy with some YSB things, haven't you?
I have been busy. It's been going amazing. It's wonderful, actually. And we just finished our third. The kids seem to love it. and it supplements the curriculum nicely. I've matched the curriculum with the programs, and Nest is outstanding anyway. I mean, we've worked with them before, but yeah, it's going really well. Next week, I think I just spoke with them. They suggest underwater exploration for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. They actually learn how submarines work and the pressurization, and they build forts in their living rooms, and they talk about the engineering behind submarines. It's really cool. I like it.
Okay. And one question I had, as one of the primary teachers for the YSB program, are there things that you needed? You have enough technology, you have enough materials and other things so that the students aren't wanting for anything. Okay, good. Okay.
Correct. One time they called for candy. So they send out a list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they called for candy. So they send out a list prior, and if students have a hard time getting it, we obviously don't want them going out to the stores and buying specific things. They accommodate really well, and it worked out well. So it's household items.
I know I've had experience with 4-H programs using super snacks, so it's an interesting concept. Okay, any other types of things, Judith?
Adam, I wanted to ask about the budget issues. I talked to Ryan Aubin, and I were emailing. He's had to lay off all of his staff at this point, and of course the JRB isn't meeting because of the idea of it's a meeting. But I'm concerned about the legislature, as far as, remember the time that they froze the funding for the YSBs and didn't. I think I'm wondering if you think we're going to be in trouble next year as far as the amount of money we're going to be granted.
We have a healthy balance with our collections, and I think that our collections could carry us through, and we'll deal with that as time comes. But we are anticipating the $14,000 grant that the state is going to allocate to us. If they don't, we have our collections account, and we do have some contributions from the Board of Ed budget and the town budget. So I think that we're going to be okay. And actually, we've been very profitable with the collections. So I do think that we're in good shape.
That's great.
And even doing the budget, the school budget and the town budget, I think that there'll be some interesting things. Tomorrow, Thursday night, there's a board meeting, and we'll be going over the budget. But I've been in touch with the selectmen and the selectmen, and I think that we may come close to having a mill rate that's less than it was in 2017-18 because of some of the strategies that we've done with the budget development. So, I think we're going to hold our own for a while. The long-term prospects is something that we'll have to review. But whenever there's budgetary challenges, you get out the pen and you look and you see what the priorities are, and you work with developing a budget that meets the needs of students. So we've been pretty successful with that through some pretty challenging times. 2010 with the recession, and of course, with some of the challenges that we've recently had. So I tend to view that. I tend to use an essential spending process that can carry us through that. And people have been very understanding. If we have to cut back, we carefully review those cutbacks and make sure we're maintaining programs for children. Any other things?
Thank you.
Okay. Motion to adjourn the meeting? Nobody.
You can just say hearing none, the meeting is adjourned.
Diana.
I left it to Chris.
Okay, second. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, our next meeting is on Wednesday, June 10th at 5 p.m. Okay?
Yep.
Thank you so much. I
Okay.
appreciate it. And I will be sending something to Melinda to, express, while her evaluation will express some thank yous for what she's accomplished. And I'll send people a copy of that. And again, Allison and Judith and other people, everybody, thank you for helping out. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you for the support.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
I'm going to my birthday dinner. My family's been in preparing something. And I do believe that there's probably an apple pie and some vanilla ice cream to
Oh.
wrap up. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.